And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at a game from Gamewright Games called Shifting Stones, a game of tiles and tactics. It's by J. Evan Wright, and it is simply just 9 stones that you're rearranging to score points. Here's how you play. There are 9 tiles that you're going to place randomly here in the middle of the table. These tiles have 2 sides to them. On the other side of the yellow, for example, is the black, and there's actually, each player will have a card and it shows you what's on the side. So there's only 1 of these yellow-black tiles. There's 2 of the orange-reds, 2 of the purple, or 3 of the purple-blues, and 3 of the white-greens. So those are randomly there. Players are also going to get a handful of cards from this scoring card deck. And they're going to show patterns that you are trying to get based on the orientation of these tiles out there. So on a player's turn, you can take as many actions as you want, but your actions are going to cost you a card to play. So one of the things you can do on your turn is you could discard a card from your hand, and you can flip over one of the tiles. So I might be able to flip over this tile here. You could also discard a card from your hand to switch to adjacent tiles. Can't do it diagonal, you just switch to. But then you might play a card for scoring purposes, like this one here. Look, there's 2 purple tiles. I have this. I now will score it for 1 point each. This one's here a little trickier. You can see this is any tile can be there, but I need the 2 greens and a yellow. And this one here, I need to get those 4 tiles in those positions. But if I do, I'll be able to score it. And then at the end of your turn, you'll draw back up to 4 cards. Alternatively, you may skip your whole turn, taking no actions. You draw 2 cards, which will give you 6 cards in your hand, and you can only do that once in a row. So if I draw and I have 6 cards in my hand, I can't do it on the next turn. And that's what you're going to do. You're going to be taking these cards and playing the different cards, taking these different actions. This will continue until a certain number of cards has been scored. So if you're playing a 4-player game, once someone scored 8 cards, as shown by this little chart here in the book, then that finishes the round and everyone gets an equal number of turns. Also, whoever has collected the most 1-scoring cards is going to get a 3-point bonus. So getting a lot of the 1-scoring cards might help you out as time goes by, and then whoever has the most points is the winner. Now, this is Gamewright, so when I tell you the game's good quality, if you played any of their games, you'll believe it. These tiles, it's hard to tell, have kind of they have raised edges here, and you know, see they even have those little indentations on the side. They're just really, really nice. I love looking at these tiles. They just have this feeling of really good quality, even if they are essentially cardboard. The cards themselves are all linen finished. They're all very clear, both with color and symbology on them. And I like the fact that they include this tile guide. I mean, it's a pretty simple tile guide, but it just helps you remember what's on the other side of each of these. And the turn actions, and even here at the bottom, the end game trigger is listed. Just a really convenient card to have. The rules are really simple. Everything fits nicely in the box. It's just a high quality production. Shifting Stones works really well with my kids. Now, the game itself is really simple. You have 4 cards, you try to make these patterns. Sometimes it works beautifully. I go, and you sit there and go, did he just make those for me? Thank you, Tom. I'm like, well, what'd I do? 5 points, ha ha ha. So there's a bit of that going on in the game. And the whole person who gets the most ones getting 3 points, that helps, but getting a 5-point is better than that. And sometimes it just happens out of sheer luck. The idea of discarding a card to switch 2 tiles or flip them works. And for kids, this concept is an interesting one. For me, I found this game to be kind of ho-hum. I wasn't as interested in it. I enjoyed playing it with my children, but I found it to be too, draw cards, flip stuff, and I'm done. But my kids really liked it. And so for that matter, I have to say, I think that's who this game is meant for. it teaches you different things. Like, hey, I can't do anything this turn. I'll pass and I'll have 6 cards next turn, which gives me extra actions to be able to pull these off. Oh, this card is a card I could score, so I shouldn't discard it to move tiles. Oh, I want to score all my cards. Well, I have to get rid of one. Which one should I get rid of? These are deep level game decisions that are in a very simple game, and it's good teaching that way. Plus, the very high quality components, and I was just happy to see my kids liking this one that much. So, it's not a very complex game. Move stuff around, match patterns. There's a lot of those out there, but this is probably the most accessible one in existence, and one that I'd recommend. Shifting Stones. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time on the Dice Tower. Dice Tower Judgment, kid approved.